one of the best things about this I told you so coming to light is a lot of these old clips are being rehashed now on some larger podcasts, and some people are seeing it for the first time. And so this second wave is going to just, and Crack Squad, you're to blame. I just want you to know you are to blame for this. Okay. 100%. The second wave of this coming about because you guys are making such a murmur about it in the comments, okay, trying to convince yourselves that reality isn't reality, that the algorithm is now pushing it, and larger podcasts are now picking some of this stuff up and rehashing it, and a lot of people are seeing it for the first time, which completely axes the chance of a new fan being born, right? Because they're just going to see this ridiculous nonsense, and they're going to have such a whacked opinion that it'll be hard to change. First impressions matter. And so, once again, Crack Squad, you are responsible for the rebirth of these ridiculous clips of your boy whacked out of his gourd, talking out his head. And I guess in celebration of Mr. Burkhart thinking it's wise to come in my comments with smart remarks, after he sat there and allowed Ryan to destroy his credibility. And there's only two possibilities here, right? It's either A, Mr. Burkhart knew better, right? He knew damn well Ryan was talking out his ass, that Kylie's grandpa didn't look like Callie Ross's dad, and Callie Ross's dad didn't look like Kylie Ross's grandpa, not even the slightest bit. 30 years age difference between them. Not even the smallest of similarity. That Callie didn't look anything at all like Kylie. No resemblance. They lived in a completely different area of the state, had never heard of each other. But another one that they talked about in this little segment, which I want to bring to light here, it's just, I just want you to know, Curt, I watched a podcast last night that had 23,000 people watching, and they were laughing their ass off at your stupidity. Sitting there taking notes. I mean, there were people absolutely in stitches. And the comment section, the chat was just on fire. Just absolutely dragging you two fools. Okay? Just want you to know that. And Crack Squad, I want to thank you through your ignorance of knowing that when you get in the comment sections and say a bunch of nasty stuff to people on Ryan's behalf, it reflects on Ryan. And in this case, it's got the algorithm putting this crap in people's face again. You guys just continue to fail. That you're supposed to be his fans, and all you ever do is cause the guy harm. It's amazing. But let's move forward with this. You guys are... I guess we'll just play it.
Put out, there was a picture that came out where it's the girls in the car lean back, and there's a supposedly Callie Rodney like with them or whatever. That's the picture everybody's saying, yo, that girl looks dead.
Okay, now this was a picture that was just randomly found by someone on Instagram, a creaker, a crack squadian, right? And this is just three random girls. A year earlier, this photo was taken a year before Kylie Ross went missing by 3 girls in a completely different part of the state. So you need to know that going into it.
So if you go back and look at the actual first B-Real post, and you take it and you turn the contrast down and turn the sharpness up, you can see the name of the profile.
And there was our first lawsuit that we got into right there. That was the generation. That was the first punitive damages.
If you take that username that is on BeReal and apply it to TikTok, you see how they're wasting everybody's time? TikTok.
This had people rolling in that podcast last night. Just absolutely rolling. TikTok, wasting that time. I'm smarter than everybody. Oh.
Put that name into TikTok. Look at the profile that comes up.
He like.
That girl has absolutely not a single facial feature similar to Kylie Rodney. Not a single one. She's got a very round, pug-style nose. She's got very high, puffy cheekbones. I mean, she's got a very round face.
But he did it out of spite. He got a wife, but she ain't the one he like.
So if you look at Kylie, Kiely, and look at her situation and who's around her.
So let me get this straight. If you're going, okay, so let me back up, because I got a feeling there's a couple people watching that need this context, right? So here's the theory, here's the Adderall theory that Mr. Burkhart's taking notes, okay? That, oh, God. That if you're going to fake a girl's death to scam money from GoFundMe, you use the same name, but just use a K instead of a C. It just don't even have any logic to it. It's just so dumb.
Look at the grandpa, because the grandpa on Kylie, Kiely's page is the dad on Callie's page.
Now, that guy right there is clearly, I would say, late 30s, very, very early 40s. I would argue late 30s, okay? Again, those two look very much alike as well. They, the dad and the daughter, they're very similar facial features, okay? You see the concaving around the nose, all of that, right? Very, very similar. He can't deny that child. And now let's look at Kylie's grandpa. This guy's in his 60s. He's obviously way smaller in frame and size. Oh, look at that. There isn't even any. Look, Kylie looked like her mother right there. Okay? She looked a lot like her mom. This is, and Burkhart's the most important thing is Burkhart's back there taking notes. Okay? And so we're back to the question. Is he so dumb that he's on board with this? Or is he so selfish that his need to be liked by Ryan outweighs any effort to maybe discourage Ryan from destroying himself like this?
Tell me Kylie with a C and Kylie with a K?
Those, man, people were just rolling with them eyeballs in that podcast, too. There was a lot of people in there who had never seen any of this stuff.
Have the same dad, grandpa?
God, they ain't even close. They ain't even close. He's got a very pointy nose. It's not round. It's, oh, God. Wait, folks, it gets
by
better.
the way, don't waste your time being like, well, they don't look the same. That guy looks a little older than the other guy. Yeah, that's the point.
They did that on purpose.
I'll bet they named the one girl Callie and the fake girl Kylie on purpose too. And they posted that picture that on Instagram as a, what would you call that? An Easter egg.
All right, Mr. Oh, they're not
Gets
the
better.
same
Hold on,
person.
guys. The
They
next
look a
one's
little
killer.
different in age. Well, how about this?
Look, Burkhart's going to write it down. Now, I just want to know, is he writing it down because he knows it's dumber than shit? Or is he writing it down to impress Ryan? I mean, inquiring minds would like to know, Curt. We just want to know, Curt. Did you believe it? Did you believe all this, Curt? Well, you could just be honest and say, you know, since you guys refused to apologize, claim you didn't do nothing wrong, and nobody deserves to be getting sued, I think you would at least own it and say, yeah, I believed every word of that, and here's why. But we all know that it was your selfishness sitting there. Look at me. I get a set with a celebrity. I know he's wasted and he's about to destroy his brand and career and make a fool of himself. But I can't risk him not liking me. So I'm going to sit here and pretend I think what he thinks. Because then he'll like me.
Let's put
Sad.
Kylie with the C.
I would never do that to one of my friends. Never. Not in a million years. See, Burkhart's the type of guy that would let his friend leave the house with bad breath. Instead of saying, hey, dude, don't want to offend you anything, we're getting ready to go out, man. Hey, your breath's a little rancid. You better do something with it. You know, that's a friend. You're a Klingon, Burkhart. You just want to be liked by Ryan. Being his friend is secondary. Being liked by him and being in a video with him, way more important.
And Kylie with the K beside each other.
God, Jesus. To think of what he did, man. Them two girls don't look nothing alike, not even close. And to think, now, guys, you got to stay with me so you understand how we got this far. Okay? A random photo on Instagram that was like a year old with 3 girls in the back of a car that was posted by this young girl right here. Turned into all this. No association with Kylie Rodney. Picture was taken at a whole different time in the southern part of, way away from Truckee. Like, I'm thinking like it's like 4 hours drive to where this girl went to school. It's like unbelievable that an innocent photo, a little girl, 16-year-old, post an innocent photo of her and her friends acting goofy, and look what these two POSs did to her. Inspector Gadget and I just need to be liked over here. Mr. Burkhart, who's got, you know, balls big enough to come up in my comments.
So the lady last night on the panel I was on who popped in out of nowhere and was like, hey, I'm a psychologist, when really she obviously wasn't. Let's see if we can match her face to a younger face that's on the Kylie with the C's profile. I bet we can. This is the panel I was on last night. When this lady left, I said, she's suspect.
Okay. This is obviously a very, I would say this lady is in her mid-30s. She's fairly heavy set. The black lady here, Eve, servant of God. Very nice lady, by the way. I would say she's in her mid-30s. You know, she's she's, you know, a bigger gal. And watch. Now, you can clearly see she has a very nice complexion, right? Very nice complexion.
Here is that same exact lady, younger, on the Kylie with the Sea Girls page that looks exactly like and has the same grandpa dad as Kylie with the K.
You know, this girl's got a bit of potted skin there. Completely different frame, shape, eyes, face. The only two those two people have in common is they're both African American. Other than that, there's no similarity at all. But I just don't want you guys to miss the really good part here, okay? But let's let him convince Burkhart over here. A 16-year-old and a 30-year-old, okay?
You think that's
Okay, now listen. All right. Okay, everybody. Clear your mind. Burkhart, talking to you. If that lady on that podcast is a much older version of the girl standing with 16-year-old Kylie Ross, but Kylie Ross is still 16. How the hell does that work? You simpletons. Oh. He is suggesting, now understand, he is suggesting that this 16-year-old that's standing with 16-year-old Kylie Ross, that he just went to their Kylie Ross's social media and grabbed this picture. This girl's going to school with Kylie Ross. They're both 16. But at the same time, on a podcast somewhere else on the internet, she's a 30-something-year-old woman. Jesus Christ. Burkhart, listen, son, I want you to know that I am just absolutely freaking embarrassed for you. And just knowing that this content is getting a rebirth because of Crack Squad. Crack Squad's in the comments. Rhyme, perfect rhyme. No, you're bad. Okay. And so the content's getting a rebirth. And now that there's a court hearing, and that's starting to trickle, because it's not every day that a rapper gets his ass sued for being a dumbass, okay, for actually slandering high school girls. Because that's what he did. Ryan Upchurch, the rapper, got high on Adderall, was tripping balls, and slandered 2 high school girls while dragging grieving parents in the middle of a national news story. And Mr. Burkhart sat there beside him and encouraged it instead of being a friend and saying, dude, no. Okay? Or you could save face Burkhart and say, that's not true. I believed it all. And admit you're a dumbass. Because you're painted in a corner, buddy. There's nothing you can say. You should be ashamed. Honest to God, you should be ashamed. Now, you come up in my comments again running your pie hole. What a moron. You guys, when this thing blows over by October and this thing actually hits the bench, this stuff's probably going to make national news. And I can't wait. I'm going to watch you be buried, Burkhart. You made a fool of yourself. And Crack Squad, thank you for bringing this stuff back to the surface. I love it.